Bonjour, welcome back to Please Watch Our Podcast. I'm Connor, and with me is Mitch. Hi, Mitch.
Hello.
We have a guest with us today. Uh, she's a friend of ours, and she's Quebecois, and we're watching a Ontario and Quebecois film. Our friend Mathilde. Hi, Mathilde.
Hi.
Um,
Bonjour.
Bonjour. You can give a little info about yourself, and then we can get started and go into the movie.
Perfect. So basically, my name is 𝒂𝒕����𝒂𝒉𝒊𝒍𝒅𝒆. I am from Quebec. I grew up in Gatineau, which is like the city just next to Ottawa, basically, but on the other side of the border. And so yeah, and I've lived there my whole life with my dad, and I went to after like in Quebec, it's kind of like this education system is a bit different, right? So like after high school, we have CEGEP that we call,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like kind of college, I guess. Like
Yeah, yeah.
yes, college.
It's
Okay,
like
good.
it's like a grade 13 kind of.
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because we have like less like high school years, I think, and that we have two more. Yeah. So I went to CEGEP in communication art. Like the program was called like art, letters, and communication, but it was like profile like cinema. So like I had a lot of classes that were in cinema, and so I studied there for 2 years, and then I was like. I have bigger dreams. I don't want to stay here because obviously Gatineau is not maybe like the center of cinema in the world.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to go to Montreal. I don't want to do like everyone else. I want to go further. I want to go bigger. So I came to Toronto. So I was a small little girl going to Toronto, one of the biggest cities in the world.
Felt.
And what?
I said felt, yeah.
Yeah. And so here I am. I came actually to study. So I came for the Toronto Film School film production program. And I studied there like a year and a half with you guys.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And it was great. Now I'm graduated. And now I'm working as a production designer. I do a lot of, thank you. I do a lot of production design and a lot of like art department work in general. I do a lot of photography too, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I put my like I'm I do a bunch of stuff, but I want to be a director. That's my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But for now, I try to focus a bit more on production design to get my way into the industry, and then later on, when I have more contacts, more opportunities, I will merge towards the directing path. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's more of my like school my school background. But if you guys want to know more about my personal life, I can.
I
No,
think
no.
I think you just about
Yeah.
covered it.
You
Yeah.
nailed it. You nailed it.
Thank
You
you.
also made a short film in French, right? Yeah. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you for talking to me about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, well, actually, when we were in the film production program, we had to, or well, there's like thesis film, so it's like thesis project. It's like the big bad project at the end of like your program, basically. And so yeah, I did a short film called Entremêlés, but the English translation is Entangled. And yeah, so I directed that, which was very fun. Actually, Connor, you were on the set, so
I
that
wasn't
was like
listening. Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
By the way, best freaking, I'm sorry, can I swear?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best fuck PA of all time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Is like I know like I feel like sometimes people can get this like as like a bad thing because like like it's like PA, but that's not true. I want to like on debunk this. being a PA and a good PA actually is like a really tough thing to do because you need to look out for like everything, right? And you need to be on your toes all the time. You need to get things quick. And I think Connor, you are like so good at it. And like it needs like literally it needs skills to be a good PA. And I think you got them.
Oh, thank you.
So just
I'll, I'll
wanted to
I'll say it right now. You're a great director. I loved your film. I saw
thank
it.
you.
You ended it with a tabernacle, and
Yeah.
I cheered.
Yeah, it ends. The last word of the movie is tabarnak. That was
Okay.
my little like my little Quebecois touch, my little like signature, like we say.
Yeah, they watch it. They think it's French cinema, and then they hear tabernacle and like, oh, it's Quebecois cinema. Never
No,
mind.
no, yeah, exactly. Not French, very much Quebecois. But yeah, so I directed that. I was like a really incredible experience. I actually directed another short film when I was in CEGEP, but that was like a very much different scale than this one. Like, so yeah, that was like my first like actual like short film where there was like a budget, like that much money and that much like stake, like stake,
Oh yeah,
stake.
like there's a lot on the line. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you guys said something.
No, you're so good.
But yeah, so that was an amazing experience. I learned a lot. It was very fulfilling.
Yeah. So we are talking about what's it called, team? I don't know how to say it properly.
Come on, man.
Bon. Is
Come
it?
on, man.
How do you do it? How do you say
It's
it?
3 letters.
Bun, a bun cop and bad cop. Is that how you say it?
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good enough. It's good
Okay,
enough.
sick.
It's good enough, yeah. Well, it
Sick.
depends. In French, we would say bon cop, bad cop.
Bun cap. Bun cap, bad cop. There goes my best attempt.
But like in English, it's like bon cop, bad cop.
Yeah. It's
Right?
basic.
It's like,
Basic summary. I recommend watching it. Someone dies right on the border of Ontario and Quebec, and
Yeah.
so there's a Quebec cop and an Ontarian cop, and they go to the crime, and because something happens, they have to work together.
yeah. Well, they don't know basically if like
Yeah.
it's the Quebec department that has to take care of it or the Ontario like
Yeah.
department because it's on the like the guy is
On the side,
literally
yeah.
on the like sign that like of the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's so funny. Like it's so on point. It's such a good like it's such a good way I think to start the movie.
Yeah.
It's like such a good like idea, like such a good premise.
And it came out in 2006. I'm surprised it took us so long to come up with this plot because you think it's kind of obvious when you describe the movie to me. Like, oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised we don't. Yeah, like I'm surprised there aren't more like movie. There probably are. I just don't know them that well. More movies that are like people from Quebec and Ontario interacting, but I feel like there's more of them. And I just
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I I don't know if there's like other movies
Yeah.
like this, but I think this is like one of like Quebec like staple movie, right? Like if you think about like, and that's like not only in Quebec, but that's like internationally, like it like everyone when it came out, like everyone was talking about it, like everyone around the world knew about this movie, and like it was like a very big very big. It was very big.
Yeah.
when it came out.
100%.
yeah.
It's yeah, so yeah, basically it's like the premise is really funny. I think it's like hilarious because they don't know who's gonna take care of it. So basically the two cops from both province have to like team up and work together. But the thing is like the cop from Quebec only speaks French or really broken English. And the cop from like Ontario, he speaks more French.
Yeah.
But then the cop from Quebec speaks English.
Yeah.
But he does like it's still like quite basic. And
Yeah.
so yeah, they have to work together, and it's like I think it's
I, it's
hilarious.
good. It's a good premise for a
Yeah.
movie, and I think they,
Especially right in the opening when they finally try to take him down.
yeah, yeah,
And then
Yeah.
they're like, okay, whatever. It's your feet in this place and the heart in this place. It's
yeah,
whatever. And then they rip him in half.
yeah, yeah,
So then, yeah, now it's both their problems.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, and they, yeah. So like, movie starts. There's like you get a little scene where we meet our serial killer. He has a sick mask on. The mask looks pretty cool, and you hear people talking in the background in French about Canadian, like about hockey. I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And you see him kill people, and then you meet our two main guys. First guy, Ontario. He has a son who's a DJ. He has a sister. His sister kisses him on the cheek.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. I would never.
Well,
Um,
but that's not like the weirdest thing.
no,
Yeah.
no. And then we,
Some
yeah,
siblings do that. You kiss like a little, wait,
never.
like
I mean, like, yes,
well, I
but
feel like I don't have siblings, so I feel like on this I should trust the person that has elephant siblings.
Never. I never. If they're my age, no. Like younger, I'll do like I don't know, like a head kiss. That's it though. That's
Did you
it.
used to kiss your parents on the mouth?
No, I never kissed my
Okay,
parents on
me
the mouth.
neither.
I always listen, my go-to for siblings or parents, head kiss. That's it.
Head kiss?
Like,
like a
like
forehead kiss
my
on the
I'm
Oh,
forehead.
my mom's a little shorter than me. So I'm able to
okay.
do a little on the
Well,
cheek.
Yikes.
that's like a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What's
wouldn't
the difference
Why are we hung up
there?
on this? Siblings kiss each other on the cheeks. They're not fucking. Let's move on. We're good. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh,
So
no.
Martin's our guy from Ontario, and then we meet. It's Dev. Is it David or Dave?
Huh?
They go
Dave.
by Dave. Yeah, we meet Dave
Yeah.
from Montreal. This movie did something I didn't think it was possible. We got a
Mhm.
Toronto baddie and a Montreal beauty.
Who are we talking about?
The sister and the wife.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair enough.
fair. Yeah. We
The
find out
wife
that
is really pretty. I think Sophie Loren is her name. Again, let me check my notes. It's the kind of things I will names. I'm so bad at names. I'm
no, don't
so
worry.
um yeah, no, Lucie Laurier. Lucie Laurier is like one of I she's a big actor in Quebec.
Mm.
That's what's fun about this movie because there's a lot of big actors in it. And she is really like she's been there. She's been around for a long time. She is really pretty.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Very.
yeah. We find out that Dave has a daughter, and then they both get called, and we see the sign, the Ontario sign, and the guy in the middle, and I love their debate about like who it belongs to. Ontario, his legs are in Ontario, his body's in Quebec. I
yeah.
feel like if your body legs aren't that important, if your head's on one side, I feel like it belongs to Quebec. That's how I feel though.
Well, wait.
It's a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a corpse.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
No, but wait. Actually, if you guys were in this situation, who do you think belongs to?
It
I'd
belongs
just drive
to
away.
it would belong to well for me. I'd be
I'd
like
force
if
the situation. I'd be like, it's your problem now, and then leave.
your head's on Quebec and then I'm walking away, I'm not climbing up the ladder and splitting the body in half.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's whoever.
Yeah.
It's basically chicken, so I'm going first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, usually when you get like hired for a case, it's cool, right? Because like you have a job.
That's true.
Like
That
you
is
get
true.
hired for a case, so you know you'll be working on this for like months, and like it's like I feel like it's a big deal for like cops to like be hired for like big cases.
Especially
But like
like
maybe
murder.
I would be fighting to have the
Yeah,
case, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely think. Well, I think we both learned. Well, we learned that David like has his daughter, and then we learned that Martin has his son. Um, But we also learned way, 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 way later that Martin like stepped down from a more dangerous job to have this one. So it kind of makes sense why they kind of didn't want the dangerous murder job right at the beginning of the movie, and they're trying to pawn
Yeah.
it off to each other.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
they
That's a
both
good
have a
point.
kid that they need to take
Yeah.
Yeah,
care of.
Yeah.
that's a
Um,
good point. I agree with that.
Their chemistry is really good though.
Oh,
Amazing.
it's
It's
so
so
good.
good. It's so good right
It's
away.
so
Yeah.
funny. It's such a like, because like one of the biggest like thing about Canada is like we are a bilingual country, but like the most French people are like in Quebec. Obviously, all Canada is bilingual, right? Because you have like Franco-Ontariens, like the French people from Ontario. You have like New Brunswick, which
Yeah.
has a lot of French communities. But like, I feel like if you think about bilingual in Canada, you think about Quebec versus the rest of Canada, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think in there's a lot of like, especially in the past with the history we had, like I feel there's
Yeah.
a lot of like not grudge, but a lot of people associate this as like bad. And like a lot of people like hold like grudge or hold like I don't know, like I speak for both sides here, right? Because like we are not saints and no one is saint is a saint. But like I feel this the thing that is beautiful about this movie is that like it's able to bring um
Mm.
like our difference and like make it something like make it as a whole, like like talk about our difference and make it good, like it's like always better to laugh about like
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
things about the difference than like like bad like
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I
it's,
know.
it's
Yeah, you
always
know.
better to laugh about situations sometimes than to
And
like
to just,
Get angry about it.
yeah,
focus on
yeah.
it. And I think just to bring and like I feel like that it could have been so easy, I think, to make this movie and bash like English people and bash Ontarians. And it could have been so easy, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because it's like the director is Quebecois, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. I know his name is very Quebecois, but I was like, just in case he's like Ontarian. I don't want to say false information, but yeah, he is like the director is Quebecois, right? So like it could have been easy to do that, but I
Yeah.
feel like he did not do that at all. I think like even on like that you're an Ontarian or a Quebecois when you watch this movie. After you watch this movie, there's no like grudge, there's no like oh these French people or oh these English people, right? Like I feel like it brings like these difference together,
Mhm.
and it's like so beautiful, and it's like done with such like class in some kind of way, such like precision. It's so meticulously made, and it's like everything is so on point, like the jokes are on point, everything is like, and it's like it's nothing, there's nothing mean, there's nothing that
Yeah.
holds like like
Yeah. There's no I don't know, it's no ink like again, agree. Like the history of like Ontario and Quebec, it's pretty
Yeah.
deep and
Yeah.
yeah.
not the great like there's been a lot of there's a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
there was,
it's
there
yeah,
still
it
is.
hasn't yeah,
It
dude,
hasn't
it's
ended, no. Uh
it's
yeah.
hasn't been good for like 200 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't like that. I love
Yeah.
French Quebecois. I love Quebec. I want to go there. I want to go to Montreal. I've been to Quebec for like I went there for like an hour and I left. It was okay. It was fun, but like I want to see more Quebec.
We're back. Technical
We're
difficulties.
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I do want to talk about I'm gonna call them the captains of like the Ontario Police Force and then Quebecois Police Force.
Perfect.
Um they're funny. They're both funny. I liked how like they the one guy, I think the Ontarian chief, he can't speak French, or maybe he can. Can he? I don't
Oh,
remember.
the chief
Who?
of like the
Ontario
Quebecois.
Chief of Quebecois doesn't really know English that well, and he's trying to have a conversation. He's forgetting words. He's stumbling, and then Martin, the guy from Ontario, he's like, I speak
Yeah, I
French.
speak French, but that's when we
Yeah,
first learned he speaks French as well. So
exactly.
we've
Yeah,
been, I think it's been like 25 minutes or something into the
yeah,
movie where he's been talking in French behind his back, and then the uh, the punchline pays off right then.
yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I've known the whole fucking time. You've
Yeah.
just been shit talking me the whole time, man. Like,
Yeah. Which
Exactly.
I want to learn a language just so that can happen to me in real life. And I can be like, well, guess what? I understood you. And I walk away. I feel like it'll be
it
so
would
Yeah.
be a good
good.
one.
It'll
But
be so
also,
good.
Never happened to me, but I'm still waiting for the damn fucking time I'm gonna be
yeah.
able to do it. But do you guys
Yeah.
want to know something funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that I like that's like I never really had anything happen with like French. Like the only thing that happened is like I was talking French to like my boyfriend to talk shit and ended up like the person could understand me. That like happened maybe once or twice.
Okay, so
So
you were on the other end of
you were on the other end. And the
it. You were
person
on
there be
the
like,
other.
guess what? Tabanak. And then they walk away.
Well, yeah, it happens like like in a bar or some things like that, or like and
A bar,
like
yeah.
yeah,
You need to
but
be careful in a bar because a bar is where like people from out of town go to hang out. So you
yeah,
gotta assume everyone
exactly.
understands.
Exactly. So it happens to me. It happened to me like two or three times where that happened, or like or my boyfriend would be like, I think they understand French, or I think they understand French better than you think. Because
Ooh.
sometimes I'm just like, oh, they won't understand. I'm just gonna talk slang, you know? But sometimes like
Hmm.
there's like a lot of words in French that are the same in English. So if you're
Yeah.
like enough smart, you can kind of catch
You
up,
can
right?
you can put it
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
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 So I stopped doing that. Or I do it like when I'm certainly certain that like the people I'm with like won't understand and like I stopped doing that. But it
Yeah.
happened one time. Actually, my parents were coming to visit me um, here in Toronto, and we were in the subway. We were waiting for the subway to come, and so we're talking. We're just like talking about life, and there's this French girl with her boyfriend just next to us, and she starts like talking mad shit about us. She's like, "Oh, these are Quebecois people. They don't know how to talk. Like they don't even speak real French. They change all the words. Their French is so weird." Like she talks mad shit to her
So
boyfriend, and
she straight up knew. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
she's a
and
French
we're
person
just
speaking
like,
French to people who speak French. She's straight up just shit talking you.
All
I
she
She's
know.
not
yeah.
even.
I'm like, I just, and I'm just next, like we're next to them, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just like there, and I'm like, does she not know I can like perfectly understand her? Like,
Yeah.
and she
Well,
was talking in English too, so I could. But the thing is, like, she's so close to me. I'm like, girl, like, do you not know I can like hear you
like,
right
how could I not?
Yeah,
Plus plus
and I'm
you're in Canada.
yeah.
The likeliness of you meeting someone who's Quebecois is very high. Don't talk shit. The language Quebec English is older English because you left, you know?
Yo,
Or like,
okay,
You
I've
mean
been trying to
French?
say this to
yeah,
so many people. I'm like, the Quebecois French is closer to the act like the old French from like back in time, like Louis Soleil. I don't remember is the number Louis
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
but I know we call him like Louis Sun in French, like Louis Soleil. Back in his days, the French they were talking is closer to our French than the French from France. And you can actually Google this. And like if you go
Yeah.
on YouTube, the first video that's gonna pop, it's like someone talking like the old French, and you
Yeah,
can clearly like it's like the same accent. So I'm
yeah.
like,
It's cool.
guys,
It's so cool.
let's
I
not
don't
hate
know.
each other.
I don't know why
Like,
you hate it. I'm not gonna hate on
yeah.
someone who has a Louisiana. No, wait. I need to think Alabama accent. I'm not gonna hate on them. Like we're both speaking English. I might have trouble understanding you, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hate unless you say
I
like
know.
certain things. Then I might be like,
Yeah.
oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh. But
Yeah.
otherwise, like it's
No,
chill.
definitely. It's like why we I don't know. It's just like I feel like it's so like we're like and also like one of the thing I hate, like I don't know who's gonna watch this video, but if you're a French person from France, Please don't hate me. I'm just talking about my feelings.
You.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't
fuck you,
worry.
France. Fuck you.
No
Honestly,
hate. No
Matil,
hate, please. I don't want to start any hate or
Matil will
dilemma, but
defend you.
I just like sometimes I'm just it's like it hurts my feelings or it hurts our feeling, right? To
Yeah.
like hear people say that we don't we don't speak French when we clearly speak French. It's like it's our like we are so like we love like our language. Like Quebecois people like our language is like some is really, really important to us.
Yeah.
So like to have people to come tell us and keep telling us that we don't speak really French and like I don't know, it's just so like
It's yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so hurtful. It's like saying to
Aggravating.
someone, I don't know, it's you don't like it's like not like it's like undervaluing like someone's like culture, right? It's like you
Yeah,
wouldn't do
yeah. I
that
mean,
to
Yeah.
anyone. Like, why would you do it to us? Like,
I don't hear people like often complaining about like Haitian French or like Moroccan French or
yeah,
any of these other like dialects of French.
I know.
I only usually hear about it like in the context of Quebecois speakers and
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
purity of the French language.
Yeah. Plus, French
that
people can be rude. It's part of their culture.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
my God, imagine all the French people from France are gonna come at us after this video.
you're so
Please
good.
don't come at us. I
You're
love
so
What are they
good.
gonna do?
They, they don't under, yeah, no, yeah, no, don't worry. But
you,
yeah,
but
the thing we find out is because of how the situation of the person dying, they become partners and they go to a bar, they get in a bar fight, and it's kind of funny
Yeah,
because they're
straight up
like,
just like assaulted civilians. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's kind of funny because Martin gets in a fight first, and then he's like, "Yo, David, David, help me, please help me." He's like, getting choked, and then he comes over and
yeah,
helps, and then that happens. The same thing. It flips, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't understand him. And then they put him in a car. They put the guy they beat up, yeah, into a
Yep.
car. They drive to watch. They go into a handy park zone area. The guy from Ontario gets kind of mad about that. Okay,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
well,
they,
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
whatever.
I mean, parked also on the like in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Like, let's not forget that. He was just I think anyone would get out of that car and be like, the fuck,
dude,
man?
dude, yeah.
Like, like you picked
Um,
every wrong spot.
yeah.
But
They
whatever.
they go inside to watch David's daughter do ballet, and he's the whole time he's watching it, he's like, yeah, yeah, what?
Do
So
you
good.
know what's my favorite scene? I don't know if we're here yet in the story, but I think we are closer or getting close. But my favorite scene, and I still quote that scene to that day, is the when they go see the autopsy doctor. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, just to give you guys a little bit of context, the guy that played the autopsy doctor, I don't know how you call
Hmm.
this in English, I'm sorry, but like
Uh,
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is it
Yeah.
coroner?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, good, because it's the same thing in French, but I was like, there's no way it's the same thing in English. It's such a like weird, like it's such a
To be
like a
fair,
word that you never use, right? So okay,
yeah.
the coroner. Um, so this actor that plays this guy is called Louis-José Hood, and he's like one of Quebec's like biggest comedian.
Yeah,
Comedian,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's the one of like arguably like probably the most famous like
Yeah.
comedian in Quebec. He's very, very known, and I love everything he does. He's so funny. And I think like in that scene, I never laughed that much in my life. I think because he speak like the way he speak, the way everything is just so on point. I'm just like it's so hilarious. And like my favorite like part is when like he's well, there's two, but the first one is like when he asks like what's a tattoo in French in English.
Mm.
Tattoo,
But like in French, we would say a tattoo.
tattoo.
But like, and then the English guy is like, well, tattoo.
Tattoo.
Yeah,
It's like so funny because he keeps like reading like tattoo, and like, I don't know if we're in English here if it sounds as funny, but for French here, it sounds hilarious. It's just so funny. And I really like also when he's asking like a question. I don't remember like I think he was asking like something about the corpse or whatever, but then he's like,
Yes.
and then the Dave, the Quebecois guy, he's like says something, and then he's like, wrong, droit de réponse à l'Ontario, and droit de réponse à l'Ontario means like uh, like oh my, like oh man, like I don't know how to translate that. It's like when there's a quiz show and like someone gets a wrong answer, and then you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Buzzer. A buzzer?
Wrong.
Wrong. You're out.
wrong, you can talk. It's like you have a chance to
Oh,
like
yeah. It's
Time
like
out. Yeah, yeah. Time
Ontario's
out.
turn.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
okay, yeah.
But
Oh,
I don't know. It's like hard
yeah.
because like also like in French is like obviously funnier, which is like kind of annoying because like there's a lot of in this movie that's like French slang and French like lingo and it's like very specific way of talking. So I think it's like if you just like read the subtitle, I think it's like a bit less funny than it probably is like
Mm.
if you understand. But that like is like for every movie basically that's
Yes.
a different language. But
Always,
I
yeah.
just love this scene. It's so funny.
It is pretty good. I
Huh.
really
It's my favorite
is
scene.
any time where it was just them two like in a
Yeah.
room having to talk to like one person, it's just
It's good.
it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. They how do they find out about the guy like the guy's killing he's killing play no, he's not. I was gonna say
He's killing hockey agents who sold off members of their teams to the US
boo.
Yeah.
league.
But it's like a bigger thing, right? It kind of at first you think that it's like this simple, but then it's like a whole like organized crime type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very Canadian to make a movie about hockey. This
Yeah.
whole
Oh yeah, I thought that's also like a good like I think there's so many like little surprises or like little like symbols or like little like little things in the movie
Hmm.
Yeah.
like this like like Aki, right? Like Aki is like very important for Quebecois but also for Canada, and
Yeah.
it's like all these like little things like that they kind of put in the movie. It's like little references. That's the
Yeah.
word I was
Yeah.
searching. Reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely it's like a Canadian love letter kind of thing. They're like, let's take like kind of let's go
Yeah.
buddy
Hmm.
cop comedy, and let's take everything about Canada, and we're like, yeah, Quebecois, Anglophone tensions, put them
Yeah.
together, bam.
Yeah.
Hockey's the main
Yeah.
plot, bam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
Everyone's
like
just gonna have to work together and be
yeah.
nice to each other, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It took us about 30 minutes into the movie, and then we get Martin, the guy from Ontario, was like, I don't know if it's this, it's that, it's this, or it's because you're French. And I'm like, okay, 30 minutes
Yeah.
in, we got there,
Yeah.
and it's good. Yeah, they
Yeah. I
they
like
go there.
Yeah, I really like what you say, Mitch, about like the fact it's like a love letter to Canada. I could have not put this into better words. I agree very much with this. And yeah, I think it's like it's just beautiful sometimes, like to instead of like being like against our differences, like just like sometimes like differences is what makes us beautiful, right? It's like
Yes.
what makes us like different. And I think it's like it kind of explores that like in a very beautiful way, but a very funny way.
Yeah,
And like I
Definitely.
just I love it so much.
yeah,
It's beautiful, yeah.
yeah,
I definitely think it's best like exemplified through the two main guys. Like that's the first like half an hour in, they're like still at odds, they're still not quite getting it. And then slowly, like the Toronto guy speaks a bit more French conversationally with him. Like he'll start speaking French,
Yeah.
without immediately talking English first, or
Yeah.
he'll like engage with him and be like, "Oh, it's a Quebec tradition." Like they'll joke with each other. Like they're starting to like kind of they're meeting in the middle, and they're
hmm
each taking like things from each other.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it
yeah.
was
Um, they go to they go to like the guys who they go to the person who's killing people's
yes,
house, right?
because after the
And they
ballet, the
go,
car
yeah,
blows
yeah,
up. They think he's
yeah,
dead. Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. So they
yeah.
go to his house to try and find shit.
They go into a basement. It was weed in there. Where it's weed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's
So that
so
so
funny.
Yes,
that's
yes.
so that's BC. That's BC's part of the film.
That's what? Oh,
That's BC. That's BC. And then it fucking blows up. They see the guy.
Yeah, oh, that was so fucking
They meet the
funny.
guy, and then it burns. So all this weed's burning, and then they go to their they go to the two chiefs, and they're
Yeah,
just
they get out.
so
so high.
high.
They're so
They
high.
get out of this burning building because you're like, and honestly, I think it was kind of how they did it as well. It's just how I thought about through the scene was like, oh my God, the building's burning. They have to get out, and like that's the main focus of the scene. And then afterwards, you're like, that whole house was full of weed. They would be
Yeah.
stoned, and I think they probably went with that. I
Yeah.
don't know. It feels like it wasn't shot for them to be high at all during
Maybe.
the
That's a good
chase.
point.
And then right at the end,
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything is so funny in this
"Oh, it's
movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would not be surprised if they came up with that. Like,
I
Yeah. I'm sure
it's
they
this
did.
so
Yeah. I
good.
love you notice like it's like small things like the guy from Ontario is like trying to speak French, but he fucking can't 'cause he's so
yeah."
high.
He's speaking with like such a like a
Yeah.
yeah, bonjour,
Yeah.
est,
Yeah.
she's couldn't.
I
Yeah.
have a question actually.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I was wondering, like, as like a Quebecois, when I watch this movie, I get like all the Quebecois jokes. Like I get like all the like references and I get like all the stuff. But like I never like I'm not from Ontario and
Mm.
I don't know that much about like Ontarian culture or like all these like reference to. So as like you guys are both from Ontario, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what? Are you not?
No, well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Okay, I thought
I live in the middle of nowhere, Ontario, so I'm more of like a Letterkenny kind of Ontarian, kind
Mhm.
of,
Yeah,
and
barely.
barely, yeah. Mitch is more city,
Yeah,
so
Okay, okay.
I'm Toronto born and raised.
yeah.
Okay, good. But like as an Ontarian,
Yeah.
like how did you is there any like reference that I might have missed? Is there or it's more a bit more
Rick Mercer is in it.
Rick Mercer,
Yeah, he's
big one, but he's also a Canadian icon.
yeah, you know him,
Rick
Rick
Uh,
Mercer.
Mercer?
You know who he is. He
okay.
he okay.
He was the game show the talk show host near the end of the movie where he gets in a fight with David.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a big like
He's a big
news
yeah.
personality
He was
throughout.
on
What's
he
his
started
name?
on
Rick
Rick
Mercer.
Mercer, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
started
yeah.
on This Hour Has 22 minutes and then he got
Yeah.
his own show uh
Mhm.
Which
for
lasted for
a
a
long time.
long time.
Yeah, he's from Newfoundland. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and his
yeah.
Newfie accent comes out sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there was a couple of them.
Yeah.
Him being from Upper Canada College is kind of a joke,
Okay.
because
Canada
he has
was
a stick up his ass,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like the moment he says, "Oh, I'm from," well, like, "Oh, I was educated in French at UCC," you're like, "Oh, now that yeah, I know this guy's a dick. Like
Yeah.
this guy's, oh, I hate this guy already."
Money.
Yeah. Also, this guy's well
Most
off.
Mhm.
I'm not talking like this isn't like 100%, but most likely if you meet someone who's Ontarian, they have a really good like they're really good at speaking French,
Mhm.
they probably came from a
Yeah, it's
decent
usually,
life.
and
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on, they're either like politicians' families or whatever. They're all bilingual.
Yeah.
Maybe not to some great degree, but they are.
Yeah.
So usually when you get someone who's like fully bilingual, they like an upper level, yeah, like a more
Yes.
well
Or
off.
like
He's more well off.
education. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, more well off like education too. It's like because we could take French in high school, but like it doesn't stick
Yeah.
that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped it because my French teacher sucked. So
That's
um
another thing. A lot of Ontarian French teachers are
they're
mean.
terrible. They're so mean.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
so
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
That's
There's
terrible.
think of
Well,
it
sorry, go ahead.
like they're just mean people. You can say what you're gonna say.
Oh yeah. Are they Quebecois? Okay, yeah. I remember when you had like French teachers in school, was it like Quebecois people or was it like just like
They
English people that speaks French?
it depends on the school. I don't think mine was, but like they do teach you Quebecois, like Quebec French. So
Okay.
like yeah, kind of.
Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I know that like when I was in high school, my English classes, most of the time it was, well, I think I maybe had like one teacher that her first language was English,
Hmm.
but I think most of them were first language French, and they were just like really good in English because that's what they teach,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it's the
So like
same.
I
It's
It's
the
was
same people.
wondering if it's like the same. That's like
I
that's fun.
had I had a couple Quebecois French teachers. In elementary school, I had one or two. He sucked. He was terrible.
Yeah.
He was so mean. Um, he scared the shit out of me too.
Oh, sorry.
I apologize. He looked like an angry Quebecois Mr. Clean.
Mm.
Oh no.
Um, except he's yelling at a bunch of kids in like half French, half English to try and
Yeah.
like fuck with you. So it's not great.
Oh man.
Um, and then in high school, I had two of them, and they were okay. But we were taught like I was never taught like Quebecois French, at least.
Oh yeah, you
Or
were taught
at
like
least to
French.
my knowledge, right? Like from where French breaks
Yeah.
off to Quebecois French, I don't quite
Mhm.
know the distinction, so I don't know if like
Yeah.
I was actually taught it. But from my
Yeah.
knowledge, I was just because I when I spoke French when I was like a kid, when I would like actually practice,
Mhm.
completely lost everything. I'm actually
Yeah.
so stupid. But um,
No, don't. I
it's
think
just it's a
it's
muscle that I haven't
No,
flexed.
yeah. The best way,
exactly.
I think the best way to
Um,
learn a language is to live with people who speak it.
You
That's
have
what I
to.
think. Yeah,
There's no better way to learn something by being tossed into the deep end.
you have to speak
Exactly.
You
it. Yeah.
either learn or you
Yeah.
suffer.
Yeah.
I
You don't.
definitely agree with this because,
Uh,
like, I feel like I think a lot of English people tell me very often, actually, that, oh, yeah, they know a bit of French because they learned in school, but they all lost it. But honestly, like, I totally understand because it's like, first of all, French is so much harder to learn than English. Like, French has so much more, like, there's sometimes French is like so like I don't understand the rules. Even me, like I my first language is French and I've studied French all my life, but like I'm still like not like the best, right? I
yeah.
still make errors all the time. And French is such a like it's very complicated. There's a lot of like because by example, the biggest example is like we have a feminine or a masculine for everything. By example, a table is feminine, but how do you know it's feminine, right? There's
Mm.
no rule. It's just it is like it is, and I think
Yes.
that's
Someone said that like hundreds of years ago, and he's like
yeah,
female,
Yeah.
and then
exactly. So
everyone's
it's
like,
like yeah.
of course.
So it's like I think the feminine and the masculine is probably one of the biggest challenge of people that try to learn French. Like even if you know French quite well and you know how to have like a conversation in French, like like you can talk French. I think the feminine and the masculine comes last. I think it's like one of the hardest things because there's no absolutely no rule. It's just like for me, obviously, it's obvious because like I've heard table at like we like
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
pronoun is always feminine, so
Yeah.
I've
You
learned
just
French
get it.
clicks,
Yeah.
right? But I cannot imagine for someone that never was not born with that or never been like that didn't teach like didn't know this for all that like
Yeah.
how terrible and how hard it must be. Like I feel bad. I'm like this is terrible. So I feel lucky that like I've learned that my first language is French and that I was able to learn English because I think
Mm.
English is a lot more simpler in a lot of ways. Or I think it maybe not simpler, but I think it's easier to reach a basic level in
Yes.
English
Yes.
than it is to reach a basic level in French.
Like
Mm.
broken English, if you be like meanie go there, like you
Hmm.
can say four words, I get you. Like I
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
exactly your intent. Um, and even then, that's like a pretty coherent sentence. You can
yeah,
cut it down to like me go
mhm.
or like me
Yeah.
need and then
Yeah,
point
yeah.
somewhere and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
I get it. It's yeah, it's a very like
It's
simple,
different.
like
Yeah.
succinct, like it's blunt. It's like this is it.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's very like yeah, it's very like obvious. It's kind of obvious in some sort of way. It's very
Yeah.
like it is what it is, right? And
Hmm.
also it's like in French we have a lot of like tenses for verbs. Like we have so many, so many tenses. How many tenses do you guys have in English? Like verb.
Tense, verb tense. Oh, fuck.
I don't know if we
I
have
don't know. I
those.
don't know how much we have in French either. Don't worry. I'm
Mm,
just saying, like, I'm
We don't.
pretty sure we have like so much more.
yeah, no.
Do we have
My
verb tenses?
Like even I don't know all the like. So it's like I know that I think from my boyfriend because my boyfriend told me like he speaks like French like at a basic level,
mm,
like a good basic level, like a good basic level. Um, but he keeps telling me, because he's trying to get better, obviously, because like he's with me,
yeah, yeah.
So I think it's like it's important for him to like be able to speak my language too. And
Mhm.
um so he always tells me like I think like verbs and the feminine and masculine are like the things that are harder for him, like that you really have like he has like a really harder time
Yeah,
with.
I can imagine like you were saying earlier, like you just grew up with that. You just make the connection
Mhm.
immediately. It'd be a lot harder
Yeah,
to have to be like, mm,
yeah.
mm, mm.
Mm,
Exactly. But there's
Um,
yeah.
also a lot of words, actually, fun fact, in French, there's a lot of words that even French people have a hard time knowing if it's feminine and masculine. Like we have like there's bikes, like there's a lot like bike a trampoline.
Yeah. What
It
is that?
every French people in life probably will say une trampoline, which is like feminine.
Hmm.
mhm.
But trampoline is actually masculine. It's
Yeah.
not feminine. But everyone says it at the feminine. So like even French people sometimes there's words we're not even sure if it's feminine or masculine because everyone says it like a way, but it's the opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just making it up as you go. You're just
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
That's
who cares?
in
Yeah.
I mean,
general,
like, who really?
in general, that's just communication. You just kind of make it up. You try to meet yourself in the middle. And I do like
That's
how that kind of
that's
show
Yeah.
in the movie they show that a lot. Like they're trying to say the word and it's like
Mm-hmm.
we meet,
Yeah.
and again, like we've had conversations, me and you, Michelle, and it's like we try to meet in the middle and we try to understand each other.
Yeah.
And that's communication.
Yeah.
And I like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
back to
I
the,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, back to the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. The movie right around here is when they turn up the like the crazy nozzle just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think from what we've seen before in the movie, I think that's fair to say is like they kind of go a little. Well, you're like, holy shit, what the
Yeah.
like it just ramps up. It keeps ramping
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. But it
Um,
works. It works. Um, they have
yeah.
a dinner at David's house. Martin meets his wife. He meets David's little girl. Uh, it's a chill dinner. I don't think anything really happens, right? No, really. I did think it's kind of neat how they have
Which dinner?
the date dinner in Montreal with David's family. I don't think anything
Yeah,
happens,
David's
right?
villain. Does he
I
not
wouldn't
like
really.
realize about his son or some or no?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't know. I don't. No, I don't think. Yeah,
Yeah, I
or he's
think
like,
I'm trying to
yeah,
remember.
nothing really special happened.
They go to Toronto, then they go down to Toronto. I say Toronto. Did I say that right, Mitch? Toronto? Do I pronounce? I think I
Toronto.
pronounced
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
I pronounced the L, I think.
Toronto.
Any, they go
Toronto.
down. They go down to
Toronto.
Toronto. There's like a hockey show, and Rick Mercer was gonna have a guest on, and there's no. They're walking in.
Yes,
They're
Pickleton.
Mr. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're walking in. I love Rick Mercer so much. He's hilarious. Canadian royalty, honestly. But yeah, when he's there, and he doesn't have a guess, so he's like, I need a guess. His poor PA or whatever. It's like, can we give him a guess, please? So these two cops, both of them go on, Martin and David go on, and Rick Mercer's like, I can't read this Quebecois name. And Martin's like kind of pissed about that.
Yeah. It was David and what was he? It was like Bouchard, wasn't it?
Bouchard,
Like
Yeah,
yeah.
for
no,
sure.
he
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
yeah,
intentionally just pissing him off. Yeah.
yeah. At least attempt or apologize. Do what I do when I fuck up a name. Guys, I'm sorry. Just let me try again. Anyways, they
Yeah, but you don't go like right after. You don't go, what is this Quebec shit? You don't do
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
that.
I
You
might
go,
start
oh
now.
fuck.
There's like a
Well, I think
Yeah.
like
Spanish
that's a
a
big
Spa-
like
there's a Spanish
that's like
name.
a big like
Spanish name.
Yeah, you're
What is
you
this Quebec shit? Throw the
oh,
card.
just
that's
just any
Uh,
language.
any language. What's
and
this
also like
Quebec shit?
name. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so funny because like I think like a lot of people with Quebecois name, like I like French name, like mine. It's like the story of my life getting like my name pronounced wrongly, but I don't hold it against anyone because I get why. It's not like it's a very French sounding name. Like
Hmm.
it's like we say Mathilde in
Mathilde.
Mhm.
Yeah.
French,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like English people call me Mathilde, which I don't mind because I like Mathilde. Mathilde's
Yeah.
fine. And like honestly, it's I don't think it's like very hard, like certain syllables and stuff are really hard like to pronounce like for English people in French.
Especially
Like
to like switch back and forth. So
Yeah.
like
yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing for
yeah,
all language, right? It's like all our mouth or like kind of
way
the
we
way
moved
like
it
we say
around. Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
and everything is different. So but I think I found a trick actually to get to people to like say my name properly because my name is Mathilde and there's the name Matilda, which
Mm-hmm.
Matilda is an English name too. It's very very like it's there's a
Yeah.
lot like there's Matildas in life,
Yeah.
So and there's the movie Matilda, so most people know about this name. So usually when I meet someone and I'm like, "Hi, my name is Matilda," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, it's like Matilda, but without the ah. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Matilda.
That
And I'm like,
was
yeah,
that
yeah,
was my
yeah.
reaction.
Good.
That's how it's good
Good
though.
trick.
Like that's so good. But
It's
yeah.
such a good trick, though. People get it so fast. When I say this, people are like, it
Yeah.
clicks, and then no one has problems with my name anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, I think I found this trick, and it's a really good trick, and I've been repeating a lot. But
Yeah.
like, and my boyfriend makes always like fun of me. He's always like, "You're not Mathilde, you're Matilda, but without the ah." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
Yeah. No.
So that's a funny trick. And I think
Yeah.
it's like just like the movie shows, right? You have to adapt yourself. Like I'm never gonna be mad at someone that cannot pronounce like my name unless they like do
Unless
it
they
like on purpose,
yeah,
right?
unless they butcher it. Like
Like
yeah.
yeah,
Which is yeah.
it's like the movie shows that like you're with a different culture, you have differences, and you have to learn how to work with these people. And like I think that's like what a lot of people should maybe learn how to do because I feel like there's a lot of people in life that don't necessarily like they're so stuck in their mind and they're so like, oh, I don't want to change. I don't want to, it's like I am a Quebecois person. I came in Toronto. Well, I adapt myself. I learn like I don't get mad at people for, I try to like accommodate them and like try to
Yeah.
like work with them. And I think that's
Yeah.
the better way to do, I think. A lot
Yeah.
of
It's an
situations.
admirable attitude to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
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 If
Oh,
only more people.
I
I
know.
know. I know.
Yeah.
What's up, gang?
We
You
get a
look like you
call.
got struck by.
Me? Me? Okay. We get a call from the killer.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rick
Oh,
Mercer's
okay.
like, we gotta keep this shit on.
Oh,
We
we're
gotta
back
keep
to
this shit
okay.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, you're good. We're good. We gotta keep this shit on. We gotta keep, and then David's trying to fuck. David gets in a fight with Rick Mercer. Martin doesn't want to fight, but then the PA comes in. He's trying to unplug it. The PA comes in trying to keep it all together. It's a fun fight. Um, and it's so chill. They're in Toronto now, so now it's a
I
dinner
love it. Rick
at.
Mercer jerseys David,
It's so good.
just
It's good.
pulls his shirt over his head and
Yeah,
beats his ass. Oh,
yeah,
so good.
yeah. Um, and now because we're in Toronto, it's a dinner at Martin's house. Yeah, it's a dinner
Yeah.
at Martin's house, and Martin's sister's there, and he's like, "Oh, 𝒂𝒉𝒊𝒍𝒅𝒆," and he's like, "Oh, Toronto baddie." Um,
They basically did everything but fuck each other right there when they saw each other for the
yeah,
first time. They were like,
yeah,
Well, he's a married. Oh no, he's not married.
no, he's not. But they were like circling each other.
Because
It
you
was
have
like
to
the whole
watch a
time.
second. There's a second movie.
I
A
know, I saw
second
that.
Yeah.
called Come Back
Yep,
Up.
yep.
Ooh, we'll talk about
I
that later. We can talk about that
It came out
later.
like 2016, eh?
yeah,
2017,
20,
yeah.
2017, I
2016?
think.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We can talk about it at the end. I don't know about it. But anyways, but yeah, so Martin goes home with his with no, David goes home with Martin's sister, and then the killer breaks in. Martin's fighting him, his son gets involved, pretty sick. And at the same time, as the fighting's happening, it cuts to a sex scene. I was like,
Oh, it
nice.
was so good. It's so good. The fucking when like he reaches up to choke him and then his hands on her neck and like the sex scene. It's like
Yeah.
cutting these the fight and the sex scene are like identical, but they're just one's having a hell of a time and the other
Yeah.
one's fighting for his life.
His 15-year-old son has to jump on top of the killer. It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Balls of steel on that kid. Fucking
honestly,
this giant fucker comes out of nowhere and you just hop on his back like a gorilla.
yeah, that's sick. But yeah, they go. Martin finds out that David did it with his sister, which that's awkward. I'm just gonna say that a little awkward.
I
You
mean,
gotta go
like,
through it though.
dude, if you were surprised by that, like, you just don't have eyes. Like, the
No,
moment you
yeah,
walked in, like, they were like foaming at the mouth. Like, they
he's
wanted
like,
to rip each other apart, like, the
yeah,
moment they saw it. And he's like, oh, I can't believe you. What the fuck you mean? They've wanted to fuck you since
I
then.
I love it
Like,
when
it's
she's.
no surprise, man.
I love it when they're doing the sex scene. It's like, tell me something in French. He's like, long
Oh
live.
my
Is it
God,
long
what
live
she's
Quebec?
singing, "Long Live Free Quebec." Yeah,
Free Quebec. I'm like,
Yeah, Vive
nice,
le Québec.
nice.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's Vive le Québec libre, right? It's
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
like the sense like the patriotic like sentence, right? That
yeah.
everyone
yeah.
says in Quebec, or like it was like the sentence they would say like back in the days when they wanted
Hmm.
to separate.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Um, and then, they hunt are they how do they hunt down the killer? They find the killer. I forget how we find out that sorry, David's daughter is taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and he's kind of now David's like really involved. They're gonna break some rules, and Martin's like, they're having a discussion about like Martin's like, you're gonna lose your job we're about to do this shit. You're gonna lose your job, and Martin says in French, "Who gives a shit?" And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Yeah,
Oh, real boss move. They're doing what they need to do. I mean, your kid gets kidnapped. What the fuck are you not gonna do?
Yeah.
Um, right? Like,
And then like this last, when she has like the bomb like attached to her.
hmm
Oh my God, that is so stressful.
yeah.
I was like, it's
I
like
yeah no,
so stressful. Like it's like
it's a lot, but
I
at
was like on
this
my toes, and it's like it's like an action comedy movie,
yeah,
like,
because
but still, I was like,
at the same time, when this little girl's about to be blown up, she has a bomb connected to her. The one of the
yeah,
like henchmen, they're dressed up as a fucking mascot. He can't climb down the stairs because of the mascot costume. He goes in the elevator, and then the two cops punch him and knock him out. Funny, hilarious.
giant beaver, and then the giant beaver gets
yeah,
murdered at
Yeah,
the end of the movie. He's just murked. He just gets
yeah,
triple tapped by. I wasn't expecting the main villain guy to be like so young. Uh, uh, um, I don't know some and then him like showing up and he's like
Yeah.
that's like a 24-year-old guy.
Something. I don't remember his name, but he's pretty. Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah. I'm very. You're like 32.
Yeah, I
I
want to be hot forever.
32
I
and
know.
you're like
We
45.
know what you mean. We want to be hot forever.
Yeah,
I
We
want to
know.
yeah.
be like this.
Yeah.
And good news,
Yeah. Let's be
if
honest
you're
here. Yeah.
if you're short, you look younger. So sorry, Mitch.
Fuck
Oh
you. Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, bitch.
If you look short, if
Fuck
you're
you,
shorter,
man.
dude,
What do you mean?
the best part about being a short king, people don't know you're like 58. You're like, oh, you're 58. You don't look you look 40. It's like, yeah, I know, because I'm a fucking
So
midget.
you still
Oh
think that Danny DeVito looks like 25?
no, Danny DeVito doesn't look like he's
Good
60
point. Good
though.
point.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, he doesn't look 60.
Have you seen a photo of Danny? Look up a photo of Danny DeVito right now. Look up a photo of Danny DeVito right
Okay, I'm
now.
looking it up. Looking it up. One
Stand
minute.
it. Are you guys gonna edit
We'll
it?
put it in. We'll put
We'll
it
put
in
it
because
in.
this
We'll put
he's,
it in.
Wait,
he's
wait.
fucking
Put
lying.
Danny DeVito. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay. So it's here.
It's here. It'll be me
I don't know, you
talking
should
when
put
I
it
look
like
at the.
here.
Oh
And
yeah,
then I
no,
can
he
yeah,
does.
like that.
He was born in
Right.
he was born in 1944. Holy.
Yeah. No. Home Dog's a relic.
Oh, when he dies, that's gonna be so sad. How are they gonna continue Sunny? They can't. They can't. When Dane DeVito
Well, no,
dies, they end
we
Sunny.
knew he was gonna die. We already knew he was gonna die in the
Yeah.
show. But I mean, that's a different topic.
Yeah. Anyways,
The Deathly Hallows.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
fine. Because this joke sounds funny in my head because in French, he doesn't say relic. Well, in
Yeah.
French, like Deadly Hallows, like Harry Potter, Deadly Hallows, it's like death relic in French.
Mhm.
Like that's how we say it. So I thought it was funny.
you're so good. Don't worry.
Okay, I get it.
I love how like the whole reason this one guy, this kid is doing this. If I'm wrong, correct me, but like
They're
because
Americanizing hockey.
and yeah, fair. And
That
they're
was
already
like his whole thing.
that's their whole thing. And I mean, yeah, hockey is Americanized, but like, hey, to a certain extent, a lot of to a certain extent
Careful.
it is.
Careful now.
I'm not gonna tell
What are
you
you
more.
saying?
I'm not saying anymore.
Well,
Go tweet.
considering the situation
What
right
do you,
now.
what do you mean? What do you mean, buddy? Huh?
No, Nave, don't worry. Don't worry. I
Fucking
don't know what
yank
I'm
my
trying to
chain, pal?
No
No.
bullying, please.
Fuck you,
No
pal.
team. Hey,
No
I'm
bullying,
team.
please.
I'm team Canada for life.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
life.
get stuffed.
Yeah, get stuff, bud. Oh, nah, never mind. I'll do it after. I'll do it after.
No, I
my
could say
letter.
worse.
I'll do my letter
But-
Kenny accent for you, Mattel, when we end the podcast. But
Your
yeah,
fucking Sudbury accent, man?
my little Sudbury accent. Yeah, I'll give it to you when we're
Ah.
done.
Fuck
Basically, they're able to put they undo the bomb. The girl's safe. They're running after the David's running after that little kid. Also, I do love the line where it's like it's a sport, like he's talking about how the American
He's
hockey.
just
And
like,
it's like it's a sport.
Come on, man.
You killed how many
it's just
people?
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's a game, dog.
yeah, and that's
But
how
also, if you've ever been told that while playing a game or doing anything related to like a game, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's just a game," you want to kill that person.
yeah,
You want them dead because you're like taking it seriously and you're really into it, and they're like, "It's just a game."
Imagine going to see like the people that played at the Four Nation,
Mm.
the
Mhm.
Four Nation game, and be like, "Dude, this is just a game."
You would get knocked
You're gonna
out
get
by everyone.
fucking
They would
slapped
all-
to the ground.
Everyone would unite to beat up that person like so quick.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
no.
man. What did you guys think?
of the
Oh, are
movie.
we done? Are we
Uh,
done with the
Basically
well,
recap?
yeah,
done.
we're right at the end,
Right at the
Yeah.
end,
where he they have like a huge
huge
brawl,
fight. Yeah.
and it's like a
Yeah.
back and
Yeah,
forth,
yeah, yeah.
and
Mhm.
then David gets thrown down, and he's like, "Fuck, I can't do it." He loses the gun. Um, Martin, I
Martin,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Martin, yeah,
Martin,
yeah.
yeah, it was either Martin or Michael. I
That's
couldn't
such an
remember.
Ontarian name too.
Martin, um,
Puts a
busts
bomb.
through
Yeah.
with an injured arm. He's still in there. He's shoulder checking. He's getting the thing, and then like the angles start getting a bit harder to see.
Yeah.
And then we cut to him, and we cut to him and the bad guy, and the bad guy's like, "Haha, I got you." Bad guy speech, blah 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 blah. Runs away.
Blow
Basically,
up.
he's like, I have the high ground. Essentially, he was like, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Ran away, and then he was like, huh, put a bomb in his pocket.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? You can do that? He's like, we'll find out. And then like 5-ish seconds later,
Blows
you
up.
just
Yeah.
see him go like, fuck. Or does he say something else? I think
I
he
don't
just
know. He just kind of says fuck. He should have said
says
tabernacle and then
fuck.
blow
I
up.
think he just says fuck.
Yeah.
But he's just like, fuck. I
And then yeah.
yeah, probably. But yeah, he says like fuck, and he blows up into like meat chunks. Like
Hmm.
straight up like I always forget because it's like really funny bits in between like pretty decent like graphic action, and then you
Yeah.
kind of forget that the graphic action's about to happen. So you're like, oh my God, they're murdering and killing each other. And then you go and they're like, holy shit, they're bleeding everywhere. And then the last guy, he's like, holy fuck, he's a pile of guts. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but it was just like, oh, we're so nice. What the fuck?
And then the movie kind of ends,
But I think
right?
it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
I like the recap, guys. You guys are good. You guys
Yeah.
are also detailed.
Yeah. We've been doing it.
Like, I am not detailed in my recaps. Usually I know the main points, but I feel like when I watch a movie, I forget like a lot of details. Like I know the bigger points, but I
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry.
feel like you
Dude,
guys are really good to
it
do like
is
detailed
a
recaps.
I think like if anyone did the same thing we do, of like every 2 weeks, watch a movie, go into it, talk about it 15 minutes beforehand, get in there, you're gonna learn to like you just see it
You
easier.
yeah, you
Like you're
get
just
you
like,
get yeah.
oh cool. I
Yeah.
can see these points. Um, especially like I can now see at least for me, like I can see scenes better in my head because before it was like big plot beats and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I can remember like important dialogue exchanges or like cool one drop liners
Yeah.
or like they kind of go here and they do this because of this, but I don't remember like what they said or what they did or like
Yeah.
how they actually moved. Now it's a little bit more clear in my head of like how people like I can remember scenes more thoroughly. Um,
That's great. That's a
Yeah.
really good skill. That's good that you guys are saying that, like, because
I
obviously it's like
you don't
definitely a
have you don't have to do this. I take notes and that helps too.
Mhm.
I
I probably
almost
should take notes.
you don't
I
have
don't.
to though. I almost filled up my little movie journal. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's almost fill. I looked at it today. I was like, "Oh, I have another one." So it's
Aw,
fill. But yeah,
that's
no,
so
I
cool.
take notes. If I don't take notes, I find I'm not for the podcast at least, I'm not like as my
Hmm.
flow is in there. But yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
We do a little ratings. I call it my letterbox review. Mitch rates the
Yeah.
movie using an object from 1 to 5. You can do whatever you want. I can go first. Because my Wi-Fi is lagging. So, as someone from Ontario, I really did like this film. I feel like it makes sense because it's Quebec and Ontario, the two most populated provinces, and
Yeah.
a lot of history there. And I never heard about this movie till today, and I really liked it. If you're a Canadian, watch the movie. It's on Netflix. That's my
Yeah,
ratings.
they're both on Netflix first
Yeah,
and second.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, whoever wants to go next, Ken.
My
But
turn.
wait, you didn't say out of
Oh, I
five.
don't rate it.
That's mine.
I don't rate it. I just do
That's
letterbox review.
mine.
I
I
call it
do.
my
Okay,
He
letterbox.
just he
Snitch?
does it. he does it the Letterbox review. I try and do like a star rating.
Yeah, I try
So
to
I'm
put it
gonna
into
give
like a
it.
bow.
That's
Wait,
good.
I really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give this 3.9 to a 4, to a 4 out of 5, out of 5, out of 5. Um, 3.9 to 4.
Why not four if you
Bloody,
give it?
bloody, bloody, bloody beaver people.
Nice. And you don't have to rate it if you don't want
Endearing
to.
cop buddy
Mm.
drama,
Hmm.
very poignant for Canadian politics.
Yeah.
Um, Great for Canadian cultural identity, just in general. Really grasping
It kind of goes into
pretty
everything.
much a
Yeah.
big chunk of what like actual social like tensions are
Yeah.
like in Canada, rather than like trying to make it like a super dramatized like, 'cause
Yeah.
obviously they are very serious and have been serious at many points in history, but I mean like we don't usually interact with those things on a day-to-day
Yep.
level. We interact with like offhand comments, little bit of things, prejudice, and that's what this movie tackles, and I think it works
Hmm.
really well.
Yeah. You don't have to rate it if you don't want to. We're happy you were here, Mattel. Thank you.
Do I
You don't
wait?
have
If
to.
I
No, no,
Just
no.
literally,
can I
here,
say?
yeah,
We
Can
can
I
say
rate
say
it?
something. Yeah.
whatever
You
you
can say
want.
something.
Well, can I rate it?
Yeah. Yeah.
5 out of 5.
There we go. Nice.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movie of all time. I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Mattel, where would we find you? If you want,
Very
maybe
true. Yeah.
where would we find you,
Where do we
Mattel?
find me?
Do you want to give
Well,
us your Instagram? You don't have to.
yes, of
Okay.
course. Can I wait and you guys are gonna put them on the screen?
We can
No.
put it. Yes, we can put it. We
Please,
can put it
please,
on the
please,
screen.
please.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally, you don't have to put any animation on it. You just text
Yeah,
box, enter it in,
exactly. Okay,
and it's
so if
right
you
at the end. You know where it is.
okay, so if you want to find me on Instagram, you can find me there.
Okay.
Okay, wait, let me restart that. So this is my Instagram handle. No, there. I want it there.
Wait, where? Okay, I think we may have different configurations because I'm pointing to the right spot.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Team,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
edit this. Don't worry.
Instagram. Fa- Facebook here. And
Do you want your full name?
You want
or-
your Facebook?
Oh, okay,
yes.
cool. Okay.
I'm just making it harder for you guys. I'm gonna do it again.
You guys,
Instagram.
me.
Name. Facebook.
Okay.
That was great.
Do we say
Yeah.
bye?
Oh, yes.
Oh
of
yeah.
course.
Wait. Oh
Shit.
shit.
We got
Team,
caught up.
team.
Bye,
we have-
everyone.
Wait.
We love
Wait.
you.
No, stop.
What's
we
the
have
movie
a.
next week?
We have an email.
You're the one recording. You stop the recording. I can't
We
do
have
it.
an email at pleasewatchourpodcast@gmail.com. Give us your movie recommendations. We're listening to French movies. We have a TikTok and Instagram at pleasewatchourpodcast. We don't post anything on there. And now we can say goodbye. Bye.
We post on TikTok.
We do
Okay, but
post.
we say goodbye to the people that are watching. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad. I will never be a YouTuber.
Well, don't worry. That's why
Last career path on my list, YouTuber.
we're gonna
Bye,
wait.
people that are
Bye,
watching
people.
us.
Bye, people.
Bye, friend.